Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is a wonderful day, and I am so grateful, so thankful. Good afternoon. I wonder if you can hear me because I cannot hear myself. I don't see my avatar moving. Yesterday, I had mic problems. Just in case, I'm talking about revamping today. Revamping. Don't know what the problem is. So let me get my phone and see if I can hear myself. Because if I can't hear myself and see my movies, I don't know whether you can hear me or not. So let's see here. I am so thankful for being able to be here today. I know you are too. It's just a wonderful thing to be able to acknowledge the fact and be able to recognize that we are in this world and we are enjoying life because God has. Too. It's just a wonderful thing. Okay. Able to acknowledge the fact and be able to recognize. Okay, it's working. In this world and we are enjoying because God has. Okay. It's just a wonderful thing. Okay. Able to acknowledge the fact. Okay. And be able to recognize. All right, I'm talking about revamping today. Dear God, as I sit before you to speak, I pray to you the my soul you will keep. And if I should, before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any outstanding sins will be forgiven. And I want to just do from the beginning. Yesterday, I had mic problems when I was interviewing Dr. Cassie Williams. And if you know me, I am not happy when these things happen. But we did do the interview because she held it up on her end, and I am thankful. So if you will go back and watch S Polk Light On from the 11th of March 2026. So I'm talking about revamping today. What does it mean to revamp? Let me talk about revamping. Definition, meaning of revamping. And so many times we have to revamp. We have to. So if you revamp something, you renovate or remake it, you'll have to revamp your vacation plans. If the hotel where you were planning to stay has closed for repairs and renovations. So, revamp, that means redoing it,
repairing it, or completely starting again. Revamp. So my question is, does revamping mean that you have failed? Does it always mean that you have failed? So I want to go into, I found 11 strategies uh, on Forbes magazine. It's online. It's 11 strategies for revamping your personal or company brand. And when we revamp, it's not that we have failed. Sometimes we just have to make changes, and we might have to start something again or do some touch ups on it. So 11 strategies for revamping, and I want to do one more definition of it. Let me see if this, I know they're all close to each other. There are these other forms of revamp or revamped, revamping, revamps, revamped, revamping, revamps. So thank you for being here with me. Your presence. You are wonderful, and I know I tell you that over and over again. It's because I mean it. You have to take time to be, and I thank you so much. So much. These days are really precious to me, and I know your days are precious to you too. They are precious. I don't know where this other word came from, but I'm going to type it in this dictionary here. This is to the Thursday, the 12th of March in the year 2020. Revamp, to patch up or restore, renovate, to patch it up, restore it, or renovate it. So you don't have to just start from scratch all the time. You can patch. You've had to patch things up. People have patched clothes. People have patched damages on their homes, in their homes, roofs. They've patched up so many things, and sometimes people, they have problems with their cars. They do the best they can until they can do a top-notch job in repairing it. So they say, "Well, I patched it up. I rigged it up," or something like that. So it means to revise or reconstruct. And even if you're a writer, like a manuscript, we don't put out the first thing that we write. Maybe 1% of the time, maybe, but not that 99% of the time. We revamp it, we edit it, we go over and over and over it again until we are satisfied, or until we've exhausted all of the corrections and all of that we can do. So to revamp anew, uh, like you had to take your shoes to the shop sometimes and get them patched up, or get straps sewn back on them, put heels on them, get soles put on them if you want to keep those shoes, or get a dress altered, and wow, just so many different things. Revamping, making it over, making it, repairing it. So something that has been renovated or revamped, the act or process of revamping, to renovate, revise, or restructure, redo. An active instance of revamping something, revamped. So, yeah. So to repair it, sometimes make it over again. So let's go into these 11, and this is personal and in business, and this is in Forbes. So revamping. So just because things don't seem to be going in what we call the right direction and in the right direction according to our expectations, sometimes it's not good to throw it away, just throw it away and forget it. Just revamp it, reconstruct it, redo it, make some changes somehow. But don't do you throw away your dreams? No, don't throw your dreams away. Sometimes we have to rethink this and rethink that. We have to try this and try that and the other until we get something that works. We could reconstruct it, revamp it. Okay. So are you considering a brand overhaul? And we are our brand. I'm my brand. Miss Shirley Polk. Shirley Polk Davis, Evangelist Shirley Polk, all of those names. I'm one brand, okay? I am me, and this is what I promote. This is me. This is how you identify me, okay? So many elements go into making the case for a personal or company rebrand, and it's essential that you don't overlook them. So, for one, a successful rebranding effort requires an accurate read of the market, and you must rebrand for the right reasons. For instance, there's a new competition or your audience is changing, and we do have to revamp periodically because the audiences do change. Our group, our personal group changes. We meet new people, old acquaintances drop off. So something is always changing. And then someone might come into doing what you're doing, and it's so close to what you're doing till you might have to revamp somehow to make yours differ, um, and give it an exclusive look again, okay? Whatever it could be your personality, whatever it is. But remember now, always be original. Always be original, okay? So whether it's your personal brand or your company brand, having a strategy is crucial. And so here are 11 coaches and members of the Forbes Coaches Council who explain the processes they use that their client with their clients and why they work. So we're going to make this personal, okay? Revamping, talking about your brand, who you are, what you represent. Number one, outline goals, plans, and expectations. So remember, the question is revamping a sure sign of failure? No, it is not. Throughout life, we must make changes. Look at us. Look at us. We grew up from a little bitty baby. We are grown now. Our sizes have changed. Our colors have changed. Our habits have changed. Our characteristics uh, have changed. Our character has changed. Throughout the years, there have been changes in our lives. So, as we as humans change physically and even emotionally, mentally, we all change. There's a process, what they call it, metamorphosis. That's how we talk about when butterflies coming from a caterpillar to a butterfly, coming from what is it, vulva, and then there's a caterpillar comes out of that, then there's a butterfly. So it evolved and it changed. It had to come from one thing in order to go to where it is supposed to be. So many times, in order to get That perfection we need, according to us, our standards, we have to revamp, we have to reshape, remold different things, our lifestyle sometimes, our products, whatever it is. So this is talking personal and business. But because we revamp, we redo, we reconstruct, we patch up, it doesn't mean that we have failed. All right? It's not always a failure. So your personal brand, along with your reputation, is all you have. As people's careers, their goals, and their interests change, it said, this first person here said, I talk to my client about what they want out of their career, their personal and professional goals, and then build a plan to help them get there. So these are professionals who help people to rebrand, revamp, do whatever they need to do to continue to be successful or begin to be successful. So the important fact is determining how they want to be seen, how they are currently being seen, and the long term steps to class get there, okay? They are currently being seen, and the long term steps of how to get there. So this is Jessica Morel, all right, who said that. Then number two is by Sean Graham in Deep Varnish. So I guess these are pieces that in blogging4.jobs is Jessica Morel. So understand the motivation behind the brand revamp. What is pushing you to revamp, rebrand? What caused it? How you thinking? And all of that. So understand the motivation behind the brand revamp. Now remember, just because you're revamping, just because you're reconstructing, just because you're patching something up doesn't mean that it's a complete failure in the beginning, okay? So revamping a brand can be a big undertaking for any business. Have you had to just completely change your idea about something? Change your way of representation, especially in certain environments and everything. Have you ever had to sometimes, when you're in a certain environment, you just say, I just have to be quiet? Certain environments, you had to make some adjustments from experiences. So, revamping a brand can be a big undertaking for any business. So, we're talking personally too, okay? So before you make any changes, you want to understand the motivation behind the move. So when you think, well, this is not working, I'm not satisfied with the way this is going, I think I need to make some changes. Now, why are you not satisfied? And what kind of changes do you think you need to make? All of this, yeah, we have to take into consideration, all of us. So, what is the motivation behind your revamping? So, is it based on feedback from others, a change in strategic direction? Your brand is more than a logo design. It captures the essence of your business and shapes how you are perceived by current and prospective customers. Make sure you get it right. Make sure that when you decide to make changes in your personal life, in your business, your ministry, which is a business, Okay? You must know for sure what is behind the change. Why am I making this change? See, if we don't understand it, we will never get it right. If we don't know why we're doing what we're doing, even though we need to do it, but why am I needing to do this? I feel it, but you need to know, we all need to know what's behind it all. Number three, combine science and art. And it's going to talk about one of the businesses, one of the really popular clothing stores, Gap, spent $100 million on rebranding. After 6 days and thousands of negative feedback, they reverted to the old logo. Apple combined form and function with their rebranding, and from shares valued at $6, it is now at $350. Today, Apple shows no signs of reverting or stopping. So, this person, who is Dr. Cherry Collier, she's of the Personality Matters Inc. She is telling us this. She said, talking about Apple, talking about Gap, how they revamped, how they rebranded. And she said that she advises the entrepreneur clients, her clients, to cover all their bases, do the research, define the message, empathize with target customers, and plan for all scenarios. Branding is a combination of science and art. This is in life in general, okay? Not just business, but personal too, okay? It is an activity that even industry giants may not perfect, but like them. You are sure to learn from the process, and that is valuable in itself. So, getting back to this, branding is a combination of science and art. It is an activity that even industry giants may not perfect, but like them. You are sure to learn from the process, and that is valuable in itself when we learn from the process. That's the main goal, learning from the process. So then we have a fourth one here, discover if your brand is in alignment with your goals. We have to always think about that. Is this a part of what I want? Is this a part of my goals? Does this agree with where I am going or what I am trying to do? Does this fit in? So, first, this is Laura M. Labovich. Okay. She said, first, I'd focus on my client's goals. Is she looking for a new job, a different function, or a new industry? Then we need to ascertain the truth about her current brand. Is it on point or haphazard? When people think of her, what do they say? We conduct outreach to confirm current brand and then design new brand attributes that address who she wants to be. Finally, we share them with the world. And that's just like our personal goals. How do people see us? How do people interpret us? How do they see us? What do they think of us? And this is not saying that we are wanting people to validate us so that we can live our lives according to how they want. That's not what I'm saying. But when we are trying to find out what works best for us, whether it's business, ministry, personal, we have to take inventory. We have to see how we affect people, what kind of effect we have on them, how they interpret our actions, our words, and everything, their body language, and all of that. These things are to be taken into consideration. I'm not talking about living, trying to please everybody, cowarding down to people just because they might not like you, they might say something negative, or they might criticize. All criticism is not bad. We just have to know what to take and what to throw away or put on the shelf for a later day. Number 5, start with conversation and introspection. So, through conversation and introspection, this next Barbara Stephanie, or it could be Safani, career solvers, that is her business, career solvers. She said, I would help them define their purpose and vision to determine what they want their business to look like once rebranded. How do you want to look personally to the world when you've revamped and you've rebranded your attitude, your demeanor, even your looks? Some people get complete makeovers physically. And then we get mental, emotional makeovers also. What works? What draws attention in a positive way for you, for me? So she said, I would help them define their purpose and vision to determine what they want their business to look like once rebranded. Next, she said, I would recommend surveying past clients to assess how the client is perceived and what changes to perception need to occur. And then she said, finally, I would ask them to describe the attributes of a perfect client and match to other findings. So, taking inventory. Sometimes we don't really like what we see within ourselves. Even in our companies, sometimes we say, I need to try something different. So I'll try this. That's revamping, reconstructing, redoing. Sometimes we have to just redo, get a total makeover. Okay? Number 6, fall in love first. And this company is Round Table Companies. Okay? And this is Corey Blake. And Corey says, now, fall in love first. We're talking about revamping. And the question is revamping always a sure sign of failure? And the conclusion is no, it is not. Many times we just have to make a change to make it better. Okay? At RTC, we don't let our artists create until we have fallen in love with what the brand stands for in the world. That means we spend time listening, listening, and listening some more. We dig into what the company has been, what it is today, and what it is becoming. Personally, we dig into who we are, who we have been in the past, and who we are today. What kind of changes did we make in the past leading up to now? And who are we today? And what are we becoming? What what kind of flourishing are we doing Where are we going ourselves? That's personal and this is company wise too, business wise. We unpack the story that is emerging and how to leap into a new future. Then our branding efforts amplify what we uncover. Oh, yes, many times we have to search deeply and we must understand ourselves. We must understand ourselves in order to be able, just like I said in the beginning, I say this many times, we have to know ourselves, know where we are, know where we want to be, and put forth effort to get to where we want to go. Okay? So, revamping, we unpack the story that is emerging and how to leap into a new future. Then our branding efforts amplify what we uncover. Number 7, stand out from the crowd. And I know that when we go to functions and we go out in the public, we want to be many times individualized. We want to stand apart from the crowd. We want to be noticed for being ourselves. And I'm not saying try to be better than anyone else, but just stand out and be that individual and be noticed for who you are, okay? Within the crowd. So, this is number 7, and it is by Pat Rigsby, patrigsby.com. You can go there. And what she is saying is if a client isn't known in the marketplace, or if you just being introduced to a new set of people, a new group, because we all have to learn people, there's always a beginning, there's always an introduction, always in life. If a client isn't known in the marketplace for what they aspire to be known for, we go through a 5-question process. And even in our families, when Bubba was born, of course, when he was born, then he had to know mom and daddy. He had to get acquainted with them. Then when I was born, then Bubba had to get acquainted with me, and I had to know that he's my brother. So we got acquainted with each other. It's a natural process, but we all had to get acquainted with each other. And then when Danny came, I had to get acquainted with him. Bubba had to get acquainted with him. He had to get acquainted with mom and daddy first. Then Michael, then Natalie, then Cleaster, then Maretha, and then Lewis. We all had to get acquainted. So, if a client isn't known in the marketplace for what they aspire to be known for, we go through a 5-question process. And even in being introduced to each other in our families, and then we have our extended family, the cousins, the aunties, the uncles, the grandmothers, the grandfathers. There's so much extended family. We all have to get acquainted with each other. And then we have to learn each other's uh, what they, who they are, what their interests are, what they stand for, the goals and aspirations. We all learn each other. It's a process. And then I can say, well, uh, Uncle he's this kind of person, that kind of person. He likes to do this and he did this and that. Auntie did this and that and the other. And she likes this and she doesn't like to be treated like this. She doesn't like this to be said to her. Don't treat her like this. And certain things we all learn each other. We all have our own personalities. And even in businesses, they all have their own process, their own products. and they all stand for something. They have a special purpose, whatever it is. So here are the here's the 5 question process that they go through here. Who do you help? And that's good for personal or business. Number 2, what do they want? And even when you meet other people, what do they expect of you? What do you expect of them? Number 3, how do you provide it? So they expect this of me. Now, first, of all in a personal life, do I need to provide this for them just because they want it, they expect it? There's sometimes you have to just say no. And when you change it, sometimes you might go a little step and you say, oh, no, I'm going to back from this, revamp, okay? Rethink the situation, redo this. Sometimes you can't redo it, but you don't have to do it again, depending on what it is. So, how do you provide it? What do they want? How do you provide it? What's the result? And why should they choose you over the other available solutions? This is just like sometimes when people, sometimes there are people who are interested in each other. Then someone else comes along and one party might like the other person better than they like the party that they're already with. And so then there's a slight competition going on. And sometimes this uh, terrible competition, but I'm not going to talk about that because so many terrible things happen. But there's a I'm going to say a friendly rivalry. So may the best man, woman win. Okay? So, why should they choose you over the other available solutions? What can you add to a relationship, whatever it is? This can be business, whatever it is. What can you add to that relationship that can outstand the other competition? What can you bring to this that will help this company to grow or will help you, your, your life, your personality, whatever? What can this add to me or my company? So that simple process will provide the foundation to develop a brand that will stand out from the crowd. How do you stand out from the crowd? So, number 8, check whether your brand attracts your perfect customer. So many times we go through so many changes, don't we? Trying to get the attention of someone. And this works personally and in business. We want to get a certain audience, get the attention of a certain person. We want to get their attention because we can be beneficial for them and they can be beneficial for us. We want them to come over to our side. Now, what do I have to offer them? And what can I attract them with that will draw them over to me? That's in any instant, any situation. So if you're thinking it's time to revamp your brand, chances are you are correct. So it's good to refresh your brand every few years because who you attract changes over time. So here's 3 steps to decide if it's time. And I want to say this just like in our relationships, our marriages, even friendships, we platonic friendships, that's what I'm talking about, people, just friends, acquaintances. And like I was saying in the beginning, nothing stays the same. And even in our relationships, our friendships, marriages, we have to change sometimes. We have to move up a little higher sometimes. We have to do things that keep the interest going. Keep the fire burning. Some people say keep the home fire burning, like in relation, marriage, and partnerships and all of that. We have to change with the times and change for the better. Some people overdo it because they don't know any better, but some people go beyond the limit to try to make things better. Sometimes things, unfortunately, cannot be revamped. Some relationships have not been able to recover because people change, circumstances change, things change. So, what we need to do is be able to change with the times. And I'm saying times, I mean, change as the situation calls for change. That's in every part of our lives. Interests, different interests come into play, all kinds of things. The world is evolving and we have to evolve with it, not to our detriment. You know, I don't talk about that. But whatever is good for us, we need to revamp, make those changes to make our relationships and our lives better for us and the ones that we spend the most time with. Oh, yes. So, number one, survey your best clients about how they see you, their closest friends, your family. How do they see you? And like your clients in your business, how do they see you? And then family wise, the best people to tell you about you is your family, okay? And your close relationships. So, number two, get an outside professional or unbiased opinion. Decide, this is number three, to invest or not in a professional to revamp your brand. Sometimes we go to life coaches, even like I say, in our romantic relationships, our partnerships. Sometimes we have to go to counseling. They have marriage counselors. They have all kinds of counselors that can help in the relationships. If the relationships start being dull or things start arising in the relationship and one of the partners does not want to change or does not know how to change with the times and the progress of the relationship, all of this counts. So, do you decide to invest or not in a professional to revamp your brand? Sometimes we need help. And this is Tara Bowman, Bright Bound is her company. Okay, number nine, incorporate the big picture. We have to be able to see the whole picture, the big picture. We have to see everything that's in the picture. When we see a painting, we look for details. We look, if there's a house in the painting, we look at the house, we look at the windows, we look at the yard, the trees, and everything around it. And if we can see through the windows, because some people are so good at painting, they can let you see the inside of the whatever they're painting. You can look in there and you can see the details. Incorporate the big picture, not just look at this little bit over here and make a judgment on that. Well, I need to change that over there. Look at the big picture to find out if you need to revamp, where you need to revamp, how you need to revamp, how do you need to reconstruct, redo, restructure, whatever you need to do. Incorporate the big picture. And this is Wendy Weiner, or Weiner, excuse me, Weiner. Oh my, she has so many letters behind her name: JD, NCRW, CPRW, CCTC, CCM, the writing guru. So she has lots of them, their letters behind her name. So incorporate the big picture. I'm talking about revamping. All of us need to revamp, restructure, redo something in our lives at some times and others. So she says, my clients' visions are not just about how they see the outside workforce, but how they see themselves internally. Take a look at yourself, and you will look at others differently. And then I'm going to do this part. Put your hand in the hand of the man from Galilee. Look inside yourself. Examine yourself. Examine yourself. So she said, my clients' visions are not just about how they see the outside workforce, how you see the people around you, how you see everything around you, she said, but how they see themselves eternally. How do I see myself internally? How do you see yourself internally? Have you taken inventory? Have you examined yourself personally? And so she said, I would ask my client where she sees herself now, 5 years from now, and 5 years after that. She said, it is important for my clients to see themselves from the big picture standpoint. With an introspective thinking in place, we would be able to arrive at a collective decision together. Okay, how do you see yourself now? And there is a quote, a phrase, and did Bishop Blake, I think it's Bishop Blake. I think he's the first one I heard say it. Let me see, how do you see your now? How you see yourself now? You look much better in the future. I think it's something like that. How do you see yourself now? You look much better in the future. Number 10, begin with a solid who am I story. And this is Christine Kavanaugh Simmons, CCS Consulting, Inc. So she said, I'd work with the client to uncover the influences and events that shaped their identity. And we can go back to many of the shows I've done, many of the pieces I have presented to you in my own point of view about events that shaped us, our identity, our perspective on life, our actions, how we respond to certain circumstances, instances, what has shaped us. So, where are all the treasures and skeletons in the many layers of their life? And how do these events and influences constitute their identity? Where we came from, the even the town where we were born, our families, the environment, the people that surrounded us in our earlier years, the places we went, the teachings we got at home, everything, examples. Okay? It's like an archaeological dig. Where are all the treasures and skeletons in the many layers of life? You know, we have many layers. We have many layers. We just have never thought about it like that. But if we start unpeeling, and I learned when I started doing this webcast over 13 years ago, I finally saw myself. I saw myself. And since then, I have looked at myself differently. I said, oh, so that's why. And I'm going back to this where all the treasures and skeletons in the many layers of their life, your life, my life. And how do these events and influences constitute our identity? So once answered, Values, beliefs, and principles have a strong foundation to sit upon. Brand is a values based promise, after all. A values based promise. Assess your values. This is very important to all of us. Assess your values. And this is coming from Dave Ursillo, the literati writer. The literati writer. Oh, this is good to me. I didn't know I was going to get deep into this like this or get this deep, but I am so good and grateful. And I say good. I thank God that He has blessed me to be able to find the materials, the research, all of that I need in order to relay the message that's inside of me to help myself as well as others. So when he gave this to me today about revamping, I didn't know which way I was going to go, but I'm glad that this way. Thank you, God. So, number 11, assess your values. And like I said, this is Dave Ursillo. Okay. He said, I guide writing and storytelling clients through a personal process of reflection. What are your top 3 values, core desired feeling states, or guiding beliefs right now? What are your 3 values? And this is your core desired feeling states or guiding beliefs. What are they right now? In other words, how do you wish to show up in others' lives? Isn't that a great question? How do you wish to show up in other people's lives? What skills or service do you wish to be seen for? New. Do you want people to see you anew? After you revamp, you want people to be able to see the change and see that positive change in you and accept it right away. And some people say, oh, she has changed. Oh, he has changed. Oh, he's been working on himself. He's been working on his attitude. She's been working on her attitude. People have said that. They have noticed that about people. We have noticed that about people. In other words, how do you wish to show up in others' lives? What skills or service do you wish to be seen for? Now, ask yourself if those values are manifesting themselves through your brand, through you, through who you are, okay? Your persona. So if not, it's time to realign. Time to realign. Take inventory. Take a look at yourself. Oh, yes. This is Forbes.com. And this is a great piece. Why? By golly gee. And it's just in time. So please give me some feedback on this. It has helped me a whole lot. And I am thankful for it. I'm thankful for you. And I want to make some announcements while I have 4 minutes left. On Saturday in Tyler, Texas, we will be taking part in the Timmons Experience. Bishop Melton Timmons, he has just been consecrated as a bishop in the Church of God in Christ. some weeks ago. He has also been re-elected as the chairman of the trustee board of the Church of God in Christ. He has other accomplishments. So he and his family and the church will be celebrating on this coming Friday, beginning at 7 p.m. in Tyler, Texas. And God willing, I will be there celebrating with them. And I am just so excited about that. I love to hear of people being elevated, their works. Let my works speak for me. Let the works I've done, I think that's the word, speak for me. Yes. And so these works are speaking for people. Then in April, you saw Dr. Cassie yesterday in April, and you go back to that site and look up, excuse me, Cassie Jones Williams on the web, Cassie Jones Williams. And her conference is coming up in April. Also, the historic Open Door Church of God in Christ here in Dallas, Texas, is celebrating 75 years in existence and ministry. And the pastor is Elder Robert Williams, and the executive administrator is Evangelist District Missionary Glenda Williams Goodson. The historic Open Door Church of God in Christ in April. I will give you those specific dates. You can look on my Facebook page, and I will upload those flyers. Then Bishop Joseph Jackson is celebrating his elevation. And that I'm going to get that information, accurate information, and I'm going to be talking about that. So many people are celebrating, people that I know, and I want to celebrate with them, and I'm inviting you to celebrate with them too. All right. So I love you so much, and I thank you for being here with me. And pray for all of us. Pray for those who have been elevated. When you're elevated like that, there is more responsibility. Okay.
At your front door.
All right. I love you so much. Alexa's telling me somebody's at the front door, but I'm not going to rush to the door. But thank you so much. I love you so much. Please join us tomorrow, God willing, for the Mother's Board Inc. Like I said, I didn't design it to be a political show.
This is a reminder
to bring all the
in today's
negativity
webcast.
in the world. Alexa, stop. To bring negativity and all that before you, because you see enough newscasts.
This is a reminder.
Alexa, pause. You see enough going on the newscast, on the television, you hear it on the radio and all
This
over.
is a
So we
reminder.
just talk. Alexa,
Into
stop. So you can tell I have many reminders. So many things are happening in the world, but I like to relay more positive than negative. You can get negative anytime. Negative sales. Okay. So politics, current events, sports, positive things that are happening. Okay. I love you so much. Enjoy the remainder of your day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, midday, whichever it is. And I pray and trust that you will let the Lord do what he wants to do through you. All right. I love you. Thank you for being here. Oh, and for those of you who are listening, I meant March the 13th, 2026, when I said tomorrow, that's Friday, March the 13th, 2026, is when we're celebrating the Timmons experience. I just want to clarify that, okay?